guys, hope you're having a great day today. It is Saturday. Happy Saturday morning to you. I hope that your morning is going well. My morning is going great. It's weekend. We made it to the weekend. Sometimes the weekends around our house, we're kind of doing the same things. I think just like everybody else, it's the same routines, the same kind of things. It's like normalizing the everyday. Every day Maxine goes outside. Every day she checks for the critters in the yard, see who's in the yard. She always likes to make sure there's nobody in her zone. And it's a beautiful day. It's like sunny and just looking like a good pool day maybe this afternoon. We usually let Maxine right back inside, and then she is usually right there to be able to get her bones. And then she always takes it, and she's grabbing it. She usually takes it, and she got distracted by her bacon ball, like, ooh, my bacon ball is here. Maybe I need to do something with this. But then she decided to take her little bone and take it elsewhere and go eat. So then Greg was getting up, so he said, let's do some coffee. So I got him a mug, along with myself a mug, and then we did a cup of coffee outside, which is really good. So nice to do that. I like that. Sometimes we can do that during the week if, we don't have too much going on. It's not too crazy busy. It's like we get that moment to kind of sit and chill and do some chatting, and that doesn't always work out. But the weekends, I know that we do try to get out there in the morning and sit together. I'm on to the vanilla coffee creamer. Maxine's like waiting. She's like, is it time to go outside yet? So we've got our cups, and then we're going to go, I was actually getting a cup for him here. The other one was mine. This one is his. Putting in there. He likes the blueberry cream. I don't mind the blueberry. If someone said, you're done with blueberry, I finally found blueberry. I said, I don't mind it. And then after smelling his for a little bit, I was like, ooh, I need to get a blueberry cup. So it's good. It's just had it so much. I kind of switched up and have a little bit more. So we came out. We like to sit here and chat for our mornings and kind of just get our plan for the day going. It's like just a good time to just kind of chill. The sun felt amazing there. Just kind of get our game plan going on for the day today. So I know he was busy doing a few things, and I wanted to get a few things accomplished as well. So that's what we were chatting away. Maxine's like, I'm going. I'm going to get the dog next door. No, she doesn't actually get them. They just bark at each other and then kind of go on their merry way. So we sat. It's just beautiful and quiet and peaceful. It's good to start your days out with a little bit outside time, a little bit of quiet time. And then it gets a little hot, so we switch to the other side of the yard and sit over here where the sun is not beating on our faces. And then inside I go, and I want to thank Cozy Bliss for partnering with me in today's video. Cozy Bliss is a cooling comforter. You guys know I really enjoy the cooling sheets, the cooling comforters. We've had ours for a few years, and after a while, after using it and washing it, too many times in the dryer, it does lose its properties over time. And so I was in the market to get a new one, and I'm like, I just before was locked into either like a blue one or a gray one, and I was glad to see that they have multiple colors now. So I thought the pink one on the reverse side, pink and gray on the other side, would be a really pretty color to have in my room, bring a little bit of color into my bedroom that seems like it's all very gray. And then they didn't just have a cooling comforter, they had this one here, and this is Cozy Bliss Milky Plush, and this one is super soft, and the material is tighter than flannel, which is really nice. It just gives it a nice softer comforter and more skin friendly than a normal blanket. And so this one was I thought this was really pretty. You can wash it inside the washer. It's like sometimes you pull it out, it's got the static electricity, but I didn't notice that at all when I put it through the dryer. But I thought it would be just a fun little addition to our home. And the great thing is one side is floral and one side is plain. So either one you can have depending on where you want to put it for your room. I know we've definitely gone over different things in the last few years as far as like comfiness for our bed. And then we lived in the mountains and had to deal with different kind of temperatures there and then versus here. And so we had a duvet there. And then I came to Florida and I was like, oh, I really want to have my duvet. And then I realized we are so hot with that. Like, you definitely do not need the duvet at all. So we decided we just have been using just our cooling sheets, and then we had our cooling blanket here. And so then this one, I just needed to replace it because the other one got older. It just, just gets break down over time. And so this one, I'm ready for a new one. So I thought the pink would be a nice little addition, just a little bit different than just gray everything. The other side is gray if I want it. It's like lighter, but it's just a thin blanket, but it keeps us plenty warm and like plenty cool, I guess is a good word to say. It's how can you say warm and cool? But it's like, it's fine in the house. And so we enjoy it. It's big enough for our bed. Sometimes I have a problem with the bed not being long enough, because our bed seems to be a little bit longer. And like, I know my white one I had on top, it like shrunk up over time. And so I'm like, it barely fits on it. I'm like, that's not good. And then this one, the Milky Plush one, I know we won't be using this now because it's just too hot, but I thought it would be a great little addition you can put at the end of your bed. And it's like floral, it's got a pretty little print on it, it's got some birds and just different things on it. I thought that was very pretty, and it's so soft and so comfy. I actually folded it and put it on our like theater chairs next to our bed. And then yesterday I was sitting there, it's actually today, I'm editing this the next day, I was sitting on the chairs and enjoying just a little cup of sorbet, and I had that, and I just covered up with it because it's big, it's comfy, and it's soft. And so I'm like, it'll be really nice. I don't need it for the bed, obviously, because it's still, like 100 degrees right now in Florida. But come the winter time, it'll be a nice little light addition to the bed. So I'm like, that'll be a nice little thing to have to add to it. So I like it. I like it a whole lot. Comfort, soft, seems to wear very good when you wash it. That's the beautiful thing about bedding. And I'm thankful that Cozy Bliss has decided to partner with me today. And so they're going to give you a discount code, and that will be linked below. There's going to be, you can go to their store and you can check out. They have a bunch of different printed blankets. I just chose the Secret Garden one because I thought it looked very peaceful, very calming. Just the nature on it just brought all the beautiful things that, our outside world and bringing them into the home. So thank you again, Cozy Bliss and the Milky Plush, to be partnered with me in today's video. These make great gift ideas because how many people do you know get cooling blankets? I don't think they're one of those things that you just think about when you get people a gift, but a cooling blanket is a great addition. I know my kids are looking forward to, a couple of them already have it, and so the other ones, as we've lived here, they're like, ooh, I would like a cooling blanket. And so be able to get some for them and just something different. Keep you cool, feels amazing, lightweight, but still has a little bit of weight to it. And then the Milky Plush one will be nice because it's a little bit warmer, but not super heavy, not gonna like just wear you down. It's just gonna be a very nice addition, and just great different prints for all your gift ideas. So they will be linked in the description box below if you would like to check out any of their products. And then I need to go in the kitchen and start the rest of the stuff in the kitchen. And so I went out to my garage real quick and got, these are the egg rolls that I flash froze yesterday. And just put them in a bag. They don't stick to the paper after they freeze, so just leave them on there. Don't pick them up like I was doing. And they will be just fine. And then I wanted to make some breakfast. I made some eggs for Greg and I here. I made him a sandwich and made myself a sandwich. This is my favorite, is having it with just making a cup. I make eggs. I make his, he likes the really dippy eggs. I like the ones that are cooked a lot longer, so I get his going. And then I got this avocado. The avocado is so not ready yet. I was trying to force it. It was just definitely not ready yet, so I had to cut it off in pieces because I cut it the other day and it was not ready. And so I'm like, I can make this work. So then I'm just like slicing it as best I can, and I'm going to smash it down as good as I can on here. But it's one of those like, wait till it gets ripe and then do it. But I had already cut into it and it was already going to go bad because once you cut it, it's like, no, forget it. It's already going to be done. But it still tastes good. It tastes fine. So I'm going to take this one and smash this all down as best as I can here. I'm like, it works. This is like probably one of my favorite little meals to have. Just some everything bagel seasoning on there, and then put my egg on each side. And then I like to take my sprouts and tomatoes and put those on top here. I really enjoy that. It's probably one of, like I said, it's one of those things I used to have all the time before, and then you go through life and you're so busy taking care of your family and everybody else, and you like forget, what are the things that I like to eat? this is something I like to eat. Not for everybody, but it is for me, my favorite. So I'm going to do this, get some laundry rolling. We've been doing laundry all day, so I'm just grabbing laundry and setting out in the living room. And then back to the kitchen I come. I want to wipe everything down, make it all clean. I actually came out, it was all dirty in here, and Brooklyn had picked it all up for me. And I'm like, oh, that was so sweet. So she got everything kind of straightened, and then I just wiped it down real quick. And then wanted to load the dishwasher here with all the dishes from the weekend. I feel like we had a lot in here. We can have a lot. We have a large family. And we eat pretty much breakfast, lunch, and dinner here, and snacks, so there is going to be a lot. So sometimes I wash them, sometimes they wash them. It just depends. I don't really mind washing dishes. It's one of those things I don't mind doing. Some people despise doing dishes. I don't mind too bad not doing them. And the girls are watching a movie, so I was just listening to them. That's why I didn't do any kind of talking too much on the video here, because everybody's out here. We're all chatting. It's easier than, oh, stop for a minute, pause the movie. So I figured I would just do a good voiceover the next day and everything, and then just rinse this thing down, get everything down. And I'm like, okay, good enough. And I think I take my spray bottle bleach here and just spray around the edges to kind of get it all nice and clean. And my little scrub mommy too. And then I'm going to start on making some sausage patties. Now these are, we like the ones from Walmart. Like, think of like a McDonald's sausage patty that they have on an Egg McMuffin. It just tastes better than like straight up sausage. So I'm assuming they mix it with ground turkey. So that is what I'm going to put into this mixing bowl right here. I buy equal amounts of each kind. Here is the recipe that we use. I'm going to mix up my breakfast sausage. This, I'm going to take equal amounts of ground pork and ground turkey, mix them together, and then the spices that I like, I know there's other ones that you can use. We have found just using salt, pepper, sage, garlic, a little bit of chicken bouillon, thyme, and paprika, that those flavors mix really well, and everybody likes it. And then all I do is mix it up, and then I just divide it up into the bags. Some of them I did a little bit more fuller than others, because sometimes I'm using it for like egg rolls. I might be using it for breakfast and not have to make a whole lot. So I just kind of put as much as I can in here and kind of smash them down. And this works out really good. Lasts for a couple, and the last one lasted over a month. So it's just nice to have already mixed up in the freezer. I just wrote sausage on it, so I would not be mistaken for what this is. I don't usually smash down meat like this for anything else but sausage, but so it's good. And then I'm going to go take it and put it out into my freezer, stacking it away in here. It's nice having a few things already ready to go, so when you want to have a meal like that, you can just grab it out. And then something we're going to do for dinner today, for Greg and the boys, they wanted to have wings. And so I got my frozen wings. I got, what did I get, 6 packages of these at the discount store. We only made 1. So I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to make wings. But the problem is they were already coated. And so what I did, though, is I let them thaw. I shouldn't have done that. So it's like all the stuff kind of came off, so I was just redoing them. So in here, I'm just mixing up a little bit of milk, hot sauce, and egg. And then in this bag, I thought I would try it this way and see if this was easier. I put flour and breadcrumbs in here, and then a little bit of the Old Bay seasoning, and then just mix it up, and then just keep like mixing it. This worked out good. No mess. I think someone told me to do this a long time ago in the beginning. Yeah, that worked out perfectly to do this. As long as I kind of threw them in a few at a time and then kept shaking it so they wouldn't stick together. That worked out really good. And then we had some fresh tomatoes that Jaden had brought from someone at work. And so I'm like, ooh, let's do some BLTs today. That would be really good. So I'm going to take this, that corn cob bacon, or smoked corn cob bacon. It's so delicious. It's very yummy. I'm going to cook it in my cast iron pan here and just cook it. Next thing's like, I know it's bacon. I can smell it. And so I'm just going to put this on the stove, let it heat up, and then I'm going to go outside. I wanted to get this part done. The deep frying takes time. It definitely takes time, and it was hot. So I'm like, let me get outside and start getting this done. So I was just frying this away. Greg was over here working next to me. He started cutting out. We have like a little pathway that we're going to do with patio stones to get to our pool, and like the filter and that to turn it on and turn it off. And so he was over to the left there doing that while I was sitting here deep frying. So I'm just doing these and getting them done. I'm like, let me just, one thing, everybody like, not everybody, the guys like these. None of the girls like those chicken pieces, but they do. So that was really good just to deep fry it. And they liked extra crispy on there. So I'm glad to put on there the breadcrumbs. I wasn't sure if I should just do flour or if I should do the flour and the breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs just make it a little bit more crispy. So this was perfect. I just keep testing every single one, making sure the temperature is cooked. I came out, I kept saying error on my thermometer. I'm like, why is it doing that? I'm like, oh, it just needs to have a new battery put in. So I had to do that. But this just kept working out of a bag. That is the smart way to go. Deep fry, deep fry, deep fry. It was really toasty out here today. Very, very hot. I think Greg was in the pool here at this time swimming because he was out here working in the sun and it was really hot. So I'm like, why don't you jump in and cool off? I'm like, I will get in there eventually after I was done doing the stuff I wanted to get done today. And there it is. Delicious. Everybody loves it. And then my rugs, they had like food on them and everything else, and I wanted to wash them. So I'm going to take those up, throw those into the washer here, and get them rolling to be washed. I can set them outside because it was pretty warm out there. And then here is a BLT. I wanted to make a BLT for lunch today, so I'll put some good bacon on there and a tomato. That's the really good tomatoes. They were so good. And then I had a little bit of lettuce to stick on here and just smash it down. And then I had some cheesy broccoli soup. So I heated up, then made the sandwich for myself, and then had cheesy broccoli soup. This is so good. Really enjoy this soup. And then I had mangoes. I really like mangoes. And some watermelon. Cut that up. That was a good lunch to eat. And then I wanted to come outside and start hosing off the porches. It seems like they've been dirty. I don't do this too often. Remember last week when I was cleaning my windows and I'm like, I really need to get out here and wash it. And I was like, oh, I'll do it eventually. So I did. But first I was sweeping. The boys had those little pop-it things, little things that you throw on the ground, they pop. They had picked up, they swept them up the last time, and then they came out and did it again and did not sweep this out. And that's okay. I don't mind sweeping it up there. So I just got that little bit picked up, and then I'm going to be hosing this area off. I was thinking, I'm like, I didn't want to get the walls, the doors wet and the windows. I didn't get them too bad, so it wasn't a bad thing like when I was spraying the ceiling here. It didn't get the doors too dirty. So then I'm just going to hose off and clean up the porches. Seems like maybe once a month we have to do this, not too often. For the most part, they stay really clean. I guess staying in sunshine, doesn't rain all the time here, so they don't get too dirty. So I just want to hose those off really good and get those nice and clean. And then I decided to bring out my Norwex cloth and just wipe them off there was only a few splatters on there. So it wasn't taking up too much, like getting them soaked like I was thinking they would have to be re-wiped completely. So it was just a little bit. So I got that cleaned up, which was good. And then I decided to plug everything back in and wipe off the trash can here because that got all wet as well. And we keep these towels out all the time. The other day we put our blue ones up here, which were like terry cloth towels. And the next day I came out and they were all wet still. So I'm like, oh, so these definitely, I think they're called Turkish beach towels, I think is the name. So they definitely dried good being outside all the time. And then having this table here, we use this all the time right here. Maddie comes out and sits out here. We've been sitting out here and having dinner before. So I'm really glad I got the tablecloth on it. For $3, that makes that whole good. It doesn't really blow up too bad. I think the other day it was windy and I had to kind of just put the corner down, but for the most part it stays down. So this works really good. And then that's an orchid plant there. That thing died completely and it came right back to life. So I'm very surprised it did. And then those little jars are just solar lights. They got little fairy lights in there. I'm like, they're pretty. The tops have got a little bit rusted, but I'm like, it still looks nice out here at nighttime. So I decided to leave those here. And then just move all the chairs around, wipe off the tabletop so I can hose it off real good through here. I wasn't sure if it was better to hose it or if it's better to leaf blow it to get all the dirt, but I told Greg, I said, it's probably better to hose it, get most of it off, and then maybe we'll go back like later this week and just leaf blow everything off, because it seemed like I did this and then I kind of came back and I was like, wait a minute, I'm like, it's all dirty again, but it was just little pieces of dirt or whatever that kind of resurfaced through the stone. And then hose this area off. This isn't too bad. These chairs have held up so well outside. It's like there was just a little bit of dirt on the front, but not too bad. Same thing with the chairs that we have across the pool. They stay pretty clean and very good. I wasn't sure how they were going to hold up, but they do really good. So I figured just a good hose. And Greg was in the pool, and I said, just look the other way, babe. I'm just going to spray all this dirt right into the pool. I said, right afterwards, I'll launch the vacuum, and it can clean the bottom. I said, and then we can also do the filter on top, and it can get all the dirt that I'm blowing into the pool. It wasn't too bad. It literally cleans up in 2 seconds. But just getting all little pieces in here. So spraying right here, I'm like, oh, do we need to empty out the filter basket? I'm like, oh yeah, we definitely do. Look at all that. Lots of leaves and lots of dead little bugs in there. So just hosing this off here. Spraying it off, and then gonna put it right back inside so it can keep catching the bugs and stuff. And these chairs were good. I ended up, this is my bag here. I needed to clean this up from shopping, so I put some soap in it. It's been sitting outside, I know. I just needed to do it. So I just put my soap in there and just spray it out real good. Easy way to clean it out. And then I usually do this after shopping. I just had not done that yet. And I just put over a chair to dry. And then for our chairs here, we have our cushions. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep them. I mean, obviously I did. So I've had the strings on the back that have been sticking down forever because I don't want to tie them, because we'll put them out here during the day. And then in the morning when we come sit, we have to flip them because they're wet from the dew in the morning. So I told Greg, I said, I think it's time I finally cut the strings off the back. So that's what I was doing here, getting it all good. And then just hose the rest of the stuff this way. I feel like I was going in sections trying to get everything hosed off good. And then Greg's like, here, let me get all the stuff out of the pool so you can hose it off, because I wanted to clean the top of the pool. Floaties off, sometimes they get, dirt and stuff blown on the top. If you keep on them, they don't get dirty, they don't get moldy. Maxine's ball even had rolled into the pool there. I guess she doesn't care too much about the bacon ball outside. She really doesn't play with it outside very much. The kids take it out and throw it to her a few times. But she gets occupied with the lizards and everything else in the yard. But it sure was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day outside. Just sunshine and just enjoying being outside. Sometimes like hosing things off can be like peaceful. Does anybody else find it that way? You can just kind of doing those little jobs that really don't require too much mental work, you know what I mean? And you're just sitting there and you're just like, okay, let me hose off and doing my thing. It just can be a very peaceful time. So here I'm taking these all right back, hosing them off, throw them right back in the pool. Because right after this, Jensen was going to cut the grass, and so I wanted to get everything off the yard so we wouldn't have any, accidents like we did with the original Carlos Flamingo. Our hose reaches almost across the yard, but not quite across the yard. So I have to keep careful when I pull it through here. These chairs work out good to just hose off. The plastic is amazing. So I'm just sitting over here with the stuff that comes off the trees. I just wanted to clean them off real quick. I had the pool turned up so it could catch, filter out all the dirt that I had blown into the pool here. And then Greg had been working on our patio, and so there was some of the grass that he had picked up because he put stones down. He put over here in the corner by the fence. My hose got stuck there. It got pinched. I'm like, no. So I had to walk all the way back. So this is about as far as the hose reaches in the backyard here. We have the sprinklers that sprinkle, and do the grass and stuff and water the grass. But so we don't usually have to come over here too much for that. But over to the right in the back there where the fence is at, it kind of goes down. There's like a ditch over there, a drainage ditch, and so it's just wear from the over the years in the yard here. So he was able to put a few pieces of grass on top, so it'll be nice to have it turn into a regular backyard grass. And then now I'm on to my most not favorite job ever, is cleaning out the deep fryer. Greg usually does this. This is usually what he does for me. He's like, you deep fry, I'll clean it out. So he usually does. But today he was working on something else. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just do it. I'll do it right here. Get the hose out. Scrub it all out. I'm using my Norwex cloth. He scared me coming up to me. I'm like, don't do that. So got it cleaned here. I started to just spray it out. He said, that's fine. Just using the hose in there. He said, because there's no electrical thing down inside. I was using the cloth and it wasn't working amazingly, so I'm like, you know what, let me go get some different stuff. So I actually went into the house and ended up getting the scrub, like the metal scrubber, like a like a little wire one, and that just helped get the grease off a whole lot easier. So I was just hosing and scrubbing. Again, not my favorite, but it's just a job that has to be done, unfortunately, when you have the big giant one. So it worked. And in reality, how long did it take me? 15 minutes to clean it. That's not too big of a deal. And you just lift it up and just let the water pour right out, which worked out so good. And then we let everything dry really good. And then I let it sit out in the sun because it was plenty hot outside. And then I was able to put it away. And we just store it outside. I was hosing the deck off, or not the deck. It is the cement, the sidewalk. The pathway around the pool. I just put a little bit of soap on the ground because I did spill some oil on it, but just when I was taking it out of the deep fryer. So just hosing it down. And then now we're on to the plants. Okay, so my plants, I told you I have a little story with my plants going on. So yes, we are new at gardening here in Florida. Had a garden back in Michigan. We had one with like a rototiller and stuff grew really well there. Moved to the mountains, did a little one here and there, and then most of my stuff fried there because it was so hot. At our first house. The second house, we tried doing one in the garden things, like the little planters, and it was so wet. Remember, they molded so bad. So I just was like, okay, I'm so done with the gardening thing here. So in Florida, I'm like, surely it's 1,000 degrees here. Everything should grow amazingly, right? Wrong, that is not the case here. Sometimes it's just too hot. So, when I was at Lowe's the one day, I thought, I'm going to get inspired. I'm going to get some plants. They had tomatoes, they had cucumbers, and I'm like, I can surely grow these. And so that was my intention. So we started out strong, really strong, really strong. It grew so big and was looking really good. The tomatoes, we did the whole method of cutting off the side ones that a lot of people recommended, and those are doing very well. We even planted a seed from our mango, and that's coming up really well. But here is the sad little cucumbers. Okay, what happened is I left them for 2 days, and aphids got a hold of them. Literally ate the entire plant. The leaf was like gone. I was like, oh my goodness, this was the better of them. The other big giant one that was getting so big and huge, it was doing so well. And we came out and like within 2 days, they just annihilated and ate the whole thing. I'm like, oh, so we kind of cut the leaf off and we thought maybe they'll kind of come back. And so that's what we're kind of hoping for here. So I ended up pulling these out of the small ones. Greg's like, just cut all the leaf off. We'll try it again. I'm like, okay, that's what we'll do. We'll try our best to do. That's what it is. It's trial and error and doing what we can do. And so like right here, I'm like, do I just plant more seeds? He's like, pull them out and just plant more. We started these from seed in the stackable ones. And he's like, just do it again. It'll be fine. Because a lot of you said that it's planted too early. It's because Florida has 3 growing seasons. And right now is the hottest one. It's not the good one to do it as. So I'm like, you know what? I think it was the end of July, just like end of June to start. So I decided to pull all those out of here and put a new seed into the dirt and retry it. So these ones I grew from seed and they were fine. So I'm like, you know what? I've got this packet of seeds cost me 25 cents. What is it? A little bit of my pride, a little bit of my time. No big deal. Really no big deal. I'm not prideful over it. I really am not. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to try it, but it's good. So I just put some more in here and I thought we'll start again with here. The tomato plants or the cucumber plants I bought at Lowe's, the one was doing so good and got huge, and then that one did get all eaten. And then we had one next to it that I had purchased the plant already, and that one definitely got eaten up. And I'm like, okay. And so we have a couple that we started from seed there was one that looks like it's doing better than the others. It definitely got eaten. We sprayed stuff on it before it got completely gone. So I'm going to try to save that one. But these other ones, I'm like, I'm not sure. And these little ones here in the pot, in the square pots, we cut all the leaf off, but the stem still looks very green. Will they continue to grow? I don't know. They may over time. That's the beautiful thing about this, is we are just trying things out. And so I just cut the leaf off it, and I'm like, let's see if it continues to grow. It might not, it might die, and that's good. I can just put some more seeds in. So I've got my Miracle-Gro here. A friend said, Jim, just douse it with Miracle-Gro. Give it lots of nutrients. It'll be fine. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what do you do? Trial and error. You know what I mean? So here on the bottom, those are cucumber plants. There's seeds in there. It'll take a little while. And these are other plants. They're kind of coming along. They're slowly coming along. I keep checking them. I'm like, are they growing? I kind of move them around a little bit, but they are coming up. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, we'll keep trying. So basically I'm rotating the plants here and see how they'll do. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun just trying things out. And isn't that so great about like trying new skills, growing and failing at things, and trying something different and trying to see if you can try to keep a plant alive. I'm like, those are good things to do. I'm like, that's a great thing to keep trying. I'm like, the tomatoes did pretty good. Those aren't too bad. They had a couple, I think they've got the feeders, I think they're called, or something on there, but the tomatoes are growing. The tomato that's on here right now, actually the next day, it got really red in here, so I'm just making sure to soak it really well. This is a little tomato plant here on the bottom. It's like a bush one, and we'll see how it does. Inside here, I was cutting the dead parts of the green onions off. Those are still growing really good too. So I am remaining hopeful. It's like, it's good. Try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. So here's the sadness of the cucumbers. I started like going, what do I do here? So this one that I'm cutting, Greg's like, just cut it off the thing. I think we had them over here, and I don't know if the aphids came because the grass is right there, obviously. They weren't bothered when they were on the patio, but will they come when they're on the patio? I don't know. So here I am staring at this thing, and I'm like, what do I do with this thing? It's just getting lighter and lighter. It got real green after we cut the leaves off, but then the more I'm staring at it, I'm like, you know what? I feel like it's not going to recover at all, like at all. So I wasn't sure. I'm like, do I just start cutting? Greg's like, just cut it off. He goes, just cut it off. Just cut it off. We'll take it down. I'm like literally contemplating what do I do with this plant? And he's like, just cut it off. Get it off there. He's like, you can start out fresh. That'll be something you can do. And I'm like, you're right. That's something I can do. So then this one on the left here was not looking bad. It was dark green. It's looking floppy because it just needs some water. But it wasn't like completely eaten by the aphids. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, what if I try to replant it in this pot? Like maybe that would work really good. So it was already kind of falling out because it's a short pot. And so Greg said, just cut the little tendril things off. He goes, get it out of there. Careful with the roots. And I was. And I'm just going to dig down as best I can with my scissors. I should have got my gardening gloves and everything else, but I didn't. And he's like, and just stick it in there. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to try. So will it take? I don't know. Will it die? Maybe. And that's okay. This, again, was one made from some seeds. And it got this far. So I'm like, hey, not bad. The tomatoes are still alive. The other things are still alive. It's just the cucumbers. I think it's just too hot growing. And then I decided to move everything away from this area right here. I thought maybe it'd be good to have it on the little trellis thing right here. Maybe it would be good. I don't know. But right here, I don't know if the aphids are coming out of our grass onto it. So we'll see. So I'm going to try. So see this? We're going to prop it up here as best we can. I have high hopes. And if it doesn't, it's okay. So I'm like, let me move you away from there, put you up next to my house so I can check on you every single day and keep watering you and keeping you full of stuff. So I put it over here, gave it some good Miracle-Gro. I'm like, let me soak it down and maybe it'll come back. I don't know. And maybe not. It might just die, and that's quite all right too. Then guess what I'll do? I'll go get a packet of seeds that I have and stick a few more in for the next round. So then this one again was one that got eaten too. So I'm like, let me try my best to get this one rolling. So I just decided I was like, let me just cut these ones off too. Again, hopeful. They're not all a complete fail. It's the cucumbers. It's just the cucumbers, and I think it's just the heat, the excessive heat here in Florida, because they're getting plenty of sun, they're getting plenty of shade. It's just so hot. So I took the little fence thing down. I'm not going to put anything over here anymore, or at least not right now. And maybe in the springtime, maybe in the fall, they're not that bad. I don't know. Do aphids come all the time? I don't know. Or are they just going to be like right now? So I'm just putting everything on the side here and getting that over there. It's like I'll just hose this area off here. I did keep the tall one here at the end because nothing seems to be bothering that. And the cucumbers, the seeds in the bottom are going to take a little while to get rolling. And I'll just make sure I pay attention. I literally left them for 2 days, and in that 2 days is when they literally just disappeared. I came out, I'm like, oh my goodness, the leaves are gone. I'm like, that's not good. So we cut them up, and then after we did that, they got real green, but then they just died again. So see, I've got plenty more seeds. I'm like, I'll put them away, and if I can do some more, I'll do some more. So then here I've got the deep fryer was all dry. Greg's over there working. I'm going to put it on the bottom, and then we just leave this right outside. Works out really good. I got a cover for this. We had a cover that did this table and the slushy machine together, and so but we had to put them next to each other. And so now that we kind of moved it around over here a little bit, I just bought a new cover on Amazon that fit the cart here, and this works out good. So I'm gonna put it over here, and then I'm gonna slide it over by Greg, and then he's got his tools there for now. We ended up moving and putting away, and then put it up against the house. And then we were finished for the evening. And I didn't do any more filming for the rest of this day. And so then this was the next day. We decided to cook hot dogs on the fire. This is the fire getting going. It was a little muggy this day. And so the last time we made a fire, it made it real easy and good. This time it was a little bit more smoking and took a little bit of time getting going. But I think it was due to the rain coming. So I was getting the chairs around here. And then kids said they wanted to cook hot dogs on the fire. They enjoyed doing that last time. And so let's do it again. So I got some cheese hot dogs and some plain hot dogs. They had so much fun with this. Just some simple family time together. It didn't take much. I didn't have to prepare a smorgasbord of food. I didn't have to do anything but put hot dogs on a plate. It was windy. It was nice out. It's just bringing family together and sitting outside laughing and talking. And like I said, hot dogs. It's nothing great, but it's just something fun to be able to do. So we did this, and then we did some s'mores over the fire and just had a good weekend. Sometimes it's the simple things together with everybody. And it's fun. They all enjoy it. You're making memories with your family, just doing the little things. Maxine's like, please drop me a hot dog. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and what we did for the weekend. So you have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you again on Monday with another video. All right, see ya. Bye.